WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon here with you alongside Lucas Twitch DeSangro, and what a crazy week it's been.
Indeed.
A lot of stuff to get into. We'll talk the fallout of Money in the Bank coming up in a little bit. It's kind of like which shocking story do we want to go with first here? Because there was quite a few of them over the course of the week. I guess
this has been quite an insane week, Fearon. I must say, if I must say so myself.
You're going to lead off with that? Of all the things going on here, that's what you go to first?
We don't have to, but that's something we're definitely going to get into.
That's the one that hit you probably hardest of anything, I know.
Indeed.
But, at least, let's go to something a little bit...
less down in the dumps?
Well, no, I was going to say something that, I guess, more warrants a lead story.
Fair enough.
And, I guess we'll just start off with this here.
It's time! It's Vader time!
Yes, for those who may have missed or not heard, it was announced on Wednesday that Leon White, better known for his runs as Big Van Vader as well as simply Vader in the WWF, he passed away on Monday at the age of 63. White had battled heart issues in recent years. His son Jesse White, who also has dabbled in wrestling a little bit, he noted on Twitter that his father had been battling pneumonia and saying, quote, he fought extremely hard and clinically was making progress. Unfortunately, on Monday night, his heart had enough, and it was his time. I don't know if that was necessarily a pun intended, because Vader always referenced that it's Vader time, but regardless, it certainly was apropos. But yeah, Vader, a multi-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and
he
also
was one of the earlier IWGP Heavyweight Champions. I think he was the second or third. I think it was like one of the first five, right?
It was pretty early on. I forget exactly, but he was as brilliant as he was here in the States. I think he was even more greatly appreciated over in Japan, wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling. At one point, All Japan Pro Wrestling as well. And yeah, the early IWGP title. A big man who was extremely agile as well. For a 400-plus pounder to be able to do a moonsault, that alone is rather impressive. And the only reason he got into wrestling at all was because his pro football career got cut short.
He was the fourth. He was the fourth IWGP Heavyweight Champion. I apologize.
There we go.
He was he spawned a generation of big men who could do extraordinary things. He and Bam Bam Bigelow, I think.
Yeah, they're two who are very, very heavily compared. But did you know that Vader was drafted by the NFL?
I did not.
Yeah,
Who was he drafted by?
Well, he was initially drafted by the then and now back again Los Angeles Rams in the third round.
Yes.
He was on the injured reserve, but in his second season, he ended up playing in a losing effort, but playing in Super Bowl 14 against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
Yeah, it was the Steelers and the Rams. But he had to retire from football due to a ruptured patella. Yeah, that's...
Where's the patella again? In the knee, shoulder?
The patella is the medical term for the kneecap. Yeah. So then he transitioned and eventually, he was just kind of working out over the course of the early to mid 80s and was spotted by somebody who remembered him from his college football days and talked him into going into wrestling, and then went over to the AWA, the American Wrestling Association.
Vern Gagne's promotion in Minnesota?
That's correct. And he went under the moniker Baby Bull, which was later changed to Bull Power. And then from there, he went over and competed in Europe for a little while for the Catch Wrestling Association, also wrestling in Japan for All Japan Pro Wrestling, and eventually made his way over to WCW. And I mean, his powerful run pretty much was in 92, really through 95, although I think the crux of it was pretty much 92 until mid-94 when a certain yellow and red force kind of stopped him from being the powerhouse that he was.
Yeah.
Brother,
Vader brother.
Yeah, so...
Hulk Hogan's not one of those guys I can do, unfortunately, in terms of impressions. I was getting into it earlier, though.
Well, I wasn't looking for an impression. I don't know if anybody else was either. But then heading into 96, he went over to the WWF and was hyped as the man they call Vader, although Vince McMahon originally wanted to rename him the Mastodon.
Okay.
Yeah. Another one of those where we're he's with us now, we're going to rename him even though he was...
No one likes us, we don't care.
Now we're about 27 minutes away from that, but...
Oh.
See what I did there?
I feel like that is sort of a mentality of WWE at times, or at least Vince McMahon.
We don't
could argue
care.
that.
We're gonna name him the Mastodon.
And then after 98, after leaving the World Wrestling Federation, he went to All Japan Pro Wrestling and teamed with his old foe Stan Hansen.
Ooh.
And then wrestled there through 2002, and then made sporadic appearances after that with TNA in 2003 as well as in 2015, and a few with WWE in 2005, 2012, and as recently as 2016 to induct Stan Hansen into the Hall of Fame.
But he didn't go in.
Yet.
He also did so after that, I don't know if you remember the controversy behind Will Ospreay and Ricochet at Best of the Super Juniors a few years ago. And
I do.
And Vader had called out Will Ospreay. And actually, Vader had made an appearance and had a match with Ospreay at Revolution Pro Wrestling.
Huh.
Yeah. It was quite entertaining to watch.
Most certainly. And yeah, it's rather, and of course, a lot of people may also know him from his appearances on the TV series Boy Meets World.
Yes.
From 95 and 96.
Mr. Feeney and Vader went toe-to-toe. Always liked Mr. Feeney.
Yeah, so a notable loss in the world of wrestling. Vader, Leon White did at the age of 63.
Yeah. He will be missed.
Most certainly. All right, so now that I got that bit of bad news out of the way, it seems like it's one of those bad news weeks. Where's Wade Barrett when we need him?
Or even Bad News Brown.
Yeah, that would certainly work also. Just bad news across the board here. Before all that broke on Wednesday, the big kind of surprising story was the release of Big Cass on Tuesday.
Yes.
And you can't teach that.
How to fire people? I'm pretty sure that is something you can teach.
And for other people, it's apparently genetically inherent, I suppose.
And my genetic jackhammer.
I was going to say, careful, Twitch McMahon. We're not going back into that. But interestingly enough is that they didn't even wish Big Cass the best in his future endeavors.
And apparently because there was an altercation backstage with a certain ex-girlfriend.
Oh, see, I didn't even hear about that.
That was
part
something
of it. Is that one of the alleged allegations that...
apparently he had grabbed Carmelo's arm, and there was like a bit of a heated argument or something along those lines, and I think the Usos, and I believe it was the Usos and the Husos. The Husos. Yeah, that's a Freudian slip, don't you think?
Sure? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, let's just go with that. And the Bludgeon Brothers had to sort of hold him back, and yeah.
Well, on top of some other speculations, including Cass apparently being in some hot water for going off script in a segment with that little person who was dressed like Daniel Bryan, which obviously he stuck around beyond that point, but as we can see here, not too much further. So, I mean, there's a chance for Enzo and Cass to reunite, although I don't know if Enzo's going back in the ring at this point with his new rap career.
That's a loosely based term, and I don't know if Cass is quite fond of Enzo, to be honest.
I was going to say, careful there, Twitch Hennig. Going to start singing Rap is Crap soon?
No.
West Texas now?
No.
Is this all over your head? No?
You know what? If Mr. Perfect did a rap album, I'd rather not.
Well, no. It was this was WCW 99, which is probably why you know nothing about it. In all honesty, but
I'm surprised you know. Nobody was watching in '99.
But no, it was when Hennig was headlining a faction called the West Texas Rednecks, and they had this country song that actually got a pretty decent bit of radio airplay. That was called "Rap is Crap."
Right. Well.
Yeah. I kid you not. These are the cringeworthy things that I tell you about, and then you completely ignore because you want no part of looking into any of them.
I can't be arsed. I really can't. He's gonna pull it up.
Well, of course. I mean,
because if you had to sit through it, I now have to sit through it. Is that what it is?
Sure. I don't know. Just more refreshing my memory, if nothing else, because I know there's bits and pieces that I forget. That's right. They were
mine.
Oh, that's that's right. They were supposed to be the heel group to feud with the No Limit Soldiers, led by Master P. But again, this was WCW, so the crowd kind of flipped the script on things, and the West Texas Rednecks ended up unintentionally being the faces, the good guys.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out.
Pretty much. So, yeah, and then not helping with the situation was even with backup, the soldiers still outnumbered the West Texas Rednecks nearly 2-1, making them further look like bad guys. So it didn't last long. It started. It was maybe around for about 4 months. In June of '99, it was gone by October of '99.
Yeah, that's that happened.
It
like
did.
Most of the things in WCW in '99. But you know what else happened? That wasn't in '99.
I was going to say, is this you trying to pull things back from the tangent here?
Please, I would love to. WWE announced that the Mae Young Classic 2018 Women's Tournament will be held on August 8th and 9th in Winter Park, Florida at Full Sail University. So they're bringing back the Mae Young Classic. That's good to see.
Yeah, they're keeping it as I guess, keeping
Probably
the tradition, starting a tradition and keeping it going.
I probably should have picked a lengthier news story than that, because I still don't feel like that's enough to really pull us back.
Not necessarily. I don't know. Well, we're going to, I guess, well, actually, I think we're about time to take care of our first set of business. That'll be a nice chance to hit the
reset
proverbial, or I guess the load the save state, as it were. Because resetting would mean starting from scratch, and I don't think we want to go through the first 20 minutes over
There
again.
wasn't even scratch to start from, at least not for me. You do all the work, obviously, with the notes. I just come here and try to be entertaining.
How's that work out for you?
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, well, admission is the first step to recovery. What can I say?
But I just admit, and then I don't ever try to get better. That's the problem, don't you think?
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Okay. On a very special
Pro Wrestling Weekly.
We'll be right back after this.
No, well, we got to talk about our friends over at George's. Can't cut that out here. For those who don't know, the place to get action figures, replica title belts, sports memorabilia, banners, and more is at George's Cards and Collectibles. And George's has 3 locations for all of your cards and collectibles needs. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing, and their newest location in the Oxford Valley Mall on the 2nd level next to Charlotte Russe. For more information, go to georgescollectibles.com and follow George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. So we'll come back. We'll get a look at the local scene with Ed from Northeast Philly. Also, we've got the news that Lucas wanted to lead off with.
It's not like I wanted to. It's just more of it just means a lot, and it stinks that it happened.
Most certainly. I'm not necessarily denigrating. I don't want to necessarily. When you have this much bad news, it's kind of like you have to find an order of operation here. And usually when it comes to somebody passing, that's kind of the lead.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I've been doing this broadcast journalist thing for a little while now.
I don't doubt that. I don't know why I tried to sound like Jack Nicholson on that one. That was bad. I'm going to stop.
It was more like a Jack something else. All right, coming back here with more stuff after this on
Jack
Pro
Spears?
Wrestling. No, definitely not Jack Spears.
I don't follow Fearon then. You tell me during the break?
Of course.
Okay.
Where's Jericho's list when I need it? This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hello, I'm Dan Breen of Bucks County River Country, the world's river tubing capital. And I'm out here on the Delaware with a bunch of other folks. Hey, guys!
Hey, Dan!
And we're having the time of our lives. Listen, if you haven't been to Bucks County River Country, you don't know what you're missing. We've got tubing, canoeing, kayaking, rafting, and our tiki-style Riverside Cafe to whet your palate. You'll have loads of fun with the family, friends, or even a company outing. See for yourself. Check out our webcam at rivercountry.net. And while you're there, make your reservations online. Discounts are available for groups of 20 or more. Remember, the average water temperature is 80 degrees, and it's so easy to get here. We're just 8 miles north of New Hope, Pennsylvania. Don't miss out on the most fun you could have this summer. Come to Bucks County River Country, the world's river tubing capital. Hey, Holmes, we love to see you wet.
Buy your season pass for Bucks County River Country online today at rivercountry.net. That's rivercountry.net, or call 215-297-5000.
We are advocates.
We are defenders.
We are champions.
And friends.
We are the Association of Zoos and Aquariums.
230 accredited members employing thousands.
All dedicated to the care and conservation of Earth's precious wildlife.
Sea turtles.
African penguins.
California condors.
Cheetahs.
And countless endangered species that are close to extinction.
See for yourself at aza.org/join us.
Or at an AZA accredited zoo and aquarium today.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
Real ID is coming. Are you ready? Real ID is a federal requirement that affects how all states issue driver's licenses and ID cards. After October 1, 2020, you will need a Real ID or another TSA-approved form of ID, such as a passport, to board a domestic commercial flight or enter a federal facility that requires ID. Find out how to get Real ID by visiting PennDOT.gov/RealID, paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, and we're kicking off another summer of shellfish. We have seafood specials every day of the week. On Saturdays, we have the biggest crab feast you have ever seen. It's a pound of snow crab, Dungeness crab, 3 hard shells, and our own special crabby corn, and it's delicious. On Sunday, check out our new seafood saute, clams, mussels, shrimp, lobster in our own homemade sauce. Visit chickyandpete's.com for your summer of shellfish calendar and detail.
Just got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so we might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. I'm going to break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Lucas Twitch DeSangro here with you. And let's go ahead and take a look at the local scene courtesy of Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. That's a shame about Vader.
Yeah, I mean, he was battling some health issues, and I mean, between the heart issues and pneumonia, it's a 1-2 punch to say the least.
I was going to make a joke, but it's not too soon.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Too soon.
Good on you to have that self-restraint there, Ed.
Yeah. Somebody has to do it.
I wasn't going to make
Anyway.
any jokes. What are you talking about, Ed?
Wow, Ed throwing the backhand shade Lucas
And he didn't even have to say anything. I don't understand it.
Oh, impressive in so many ways here.
Don't make me get in the ring with you.
Oh yeah, no, I'll no-sell everything. Just ask Fearon. Considering I'll just start throwing the shots out at myself, and then I'll no-sell them. Just ask Fearon.
Goodness.
Go ahead.
No, it's perfectly fine.
H2O Wrestling has a new home. The Kevin Hogan Hall, formerly known as the OTW Arena.
Mm-hmm.
Named after Whack Packer
Yeah.
Kevin Hogan. That's Tremont's promotion, right? H2O Wrestling?
I think so. I know he has. I think he has two of them. OPW, I think, On Point.
Yeah.
I think he runs that too.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Or maybe I'm thinking about another person.
No, I think it might be, because I know, so like out of all the people that sort of branched out of CZW, Zandig does GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, and I know Matt Tremont owns H2O. I don't know who does On Point, though.
I forget.
They can have it on July 7th at 7:30 p.m. DJ Hyde, Tremont, Moose, and Amy Lee.
Ah, Amy Lee. There's a name from I don't want to say the past. I mean, the past and present, and definitely going to be the future as well.
CCW's in Asbury Park on the next weekend, the 29th. Well, that's a Friday.
That's this coming Friday, yeah.
Yeah, this coming Friday. 8 p.m. bell time. DJ Hyde, Bulldozer, Matt Tremont, Joe Gacy, and Rich Swan will be on the card.
Very nice.
The House of Independence in Asbury Park.
It's a nice trip to over toward the shore-ish area in Asbury Park.
I believe this is their second event they're going to be doing from Asbury Park.
I'm pretty sure. I didn't hear about the first one. Where they were at.
I think it was before. I think it might have been after Cage of Death, but before Best of the Best, or somewhere in between there. I'm not sure.
Anyway, Takara's this afternoon at the Wrestle Factory on Wingate Street in Northeast Philly. Matt Riddle, Solo Darling, Blank, and Mr. Touchdown.
Oh, Riddle's going to be at Chikara.
At 3 p.m. bell time this afternoon.
That's right. I was asked about that as some of the stars of Chikara were at the MFPW show last night. There was a Chikara Trios match that had occurred there.
July 16th in Reading is WWE at the Santana Arena with a 7:30 p.m. bell time.
Anybody announced for that card so far?
I didn't look that up yet.
There's still time. I mean, it's still close to a month away, a little less than. So there's time to have that all work itself out.
And then something for David from Chicago, pricing kids in his neck of the woods.
I'm sure Dan is checking that out.
It starts at 2 p.m. You better get down there, Dan.
Well, I mean, I'm presuming it's 2 p.m. local time, so with them being in the central time zone, it's only 11:30 there, so he's got 2.5 hours. Yeah, he's got a little time.
That's for Dan. Dan's
there we go. Throw it out there for one of our
listeners,
loyal listeners and callers over the years.
Listening on the internet, probably.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I would think definitely if he's listening. There's no way he's getting it on his radio.
That is accurate, yes.
And did you hear about Ken Shamrock is going to be at George's with Kelly?
Unless this was announced this morning, I didn't see anything.
A couple days ago.
They must not have put it up online. That's
maybe not yet.
Well, I'll get more info on that and have that for next week, more than likely.
Yeah. Officially, unofficially.
Officially, unofficial, like a lot of things here.
That's about it.
Like my status as co-host. Ugh. I can't even talk.
Well played. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for the look at the local scene as always, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right.
Sounds like a plan. So you were saying?
Don't even bother. I bombed before. I'm not going to bomb twice in a row. Please.
Alrighty then. So let's talk. I don't know, let's try to brighten things up a little bit. Why don't we get into a little bit of
money. Let's.
Yes. So Money in the Bank. With our predictions here, well, one of us did pretty good.
Which one was one of us?
Well, we'll go over the results and it'll kind of work itself out here. So in the pre-show,
I'm sure it always does.
Yeah, it most certainly does. So in the pre-show match, the Bludgeon Brothers beat Gallows and Anderson to retain the SmackDown tag titles, and we did get both of that right. And then Daniel Bryan defeated Big Cass.
Which we both, I got wrong. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I picked Bryan on that one. Not knowing anything of Cass being on his way out 2 days after that. Whoopsie.
Yeah, see, I definitely didn't know that either because that's why I picked him to win.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought, all right, Bryan can't have that much of a losing thing coming back in, but I don't know. It's amazing how these things all
Cass
work out.
clean at Backlash.
At Backlash too, yeah.
That's why I thought
maybe this would even things out, but apparently not. And then Bobby Lashley beating Sami Zayn, which I think we found out why after that, and we'll get into that in a little bit here. Yeah, I'm going to save this for almost close to the end of the show, just almost out of spite. So I got Lashley right on that, and
the honesty out of spite. Wonderful.
Yeah, most certainly. And you'd pick Zayn on that one, and that didn't work out so well for you either.
Never does.
Seth Rollins defeated Elias to retain the Intercontinental title. We both got that one right.
Yay! And then he lost it to Ziggler the next night on Raw.
Yeah,
that was also a great match.
It was.
It could have been a pay-per-view match, but you know.
Well, maybe for Extreme Rules coming up.
Well, I mean, there is a rematch next week.
Yeah. Well,
one can only hope.
They can perhaps shred it down the line for that. Alexa Bliss, she beat Ember Moon and Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch and Lana and Natalya and Naomi and Sasha Banks to win the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
It should have been Becky.
Well, neither of us got that one right.
Sweet.
You even gave me the chance to change my pick, and I still botched it up.
Yeah, it would have been a lot closer. You picked Charlotte, right? It would have been a lot closer than Naomi.
Yeah.
Come on now. She
a
wasn't
loss is still a loss, whether it's...
by an inch or a mile.
Indeed.
You sound like you were struggling there for once, so I figured I'd help for once.
I had like a Rolodex of different comparisons to go in my mind, and I just couldn't pull one up fast enough. My brain was moving around like the press your luck board, only not in patterns.
No whammy, no whammy.
Indeed. Jinder Mahal falling to Roman Reigns. We both got that one right.
Crowd wasn't too pleased, which I don't understand why. I think that match. That match wasn't exactly exciting, but to say that it was absolutely boring is malarkey.
There were a few. I mean, boring wasn't the only chant that the crowd had in there.
Somebody had put on Twitter a list of chants they wanted people to shout.
That they were trying to get going.
Yeah, which is really sad.
Well, I mean, I think it was more just so for reporting purposes than anything. At least I would think so. I don't think it was meant to...
No, there was a fan on Twitter that had tweeted out a list of chants.
Oh, that he wanted to try to get... Okay.
Yeah, like he sent to Chicago, like, oh, you know what to do, hijack this match. And it's just like, how sad is that you wanted to spend your free time?
There is some definite D-ery to that.
My thing is about Reigns, and I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to cause a storm of certain bodily fluids. Let's put it that way.
No, okay. That and vinegar? Is that what you were...
No, I was going to go more for the other...
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough.
So, I think Reigns needs to be put in more exciting matches, right? With somebody who can put on a more exciting match. Same with, like, if Mahal or Orton is going to be in a match with someone, it needs to be more exciting because they're very slow-paced guys. They're very old school.
Methodical.
And I don't have a problem with that. But for them to not have the crowd chant boring, perhaps put Orton with, like, you know, an AJ Styles or a Seth Rollins or anyone besides the other two. That would also do that pace because you need to be able to keep the crowd alive. And for some reason, they just crapped on the match before it even started, which is unfair to do. But
yeah, it's definitely not fair. No, I wasn't going to go pull that drop from forever ago.
Was it because you couldn't find it?
No, I had it on there. I was going to something else. I called an audible and ended up, yeah. And now I lost it, I guess, because updates. All right. What can you do? Well, we'll go back to the... so, yeah, we got that right with Roman Reigns, and fans were not happy with it. Now, I heard whispers of it, and I didn't want it to necessarily reflect upon my pick, and I'd forgotten about the whispers when I made my pick, but the return of James Ellsworth.
Yeah, that was... yeah.
Coming back to help out Carmella to retain the SmackDown Women's title against Asuka. So we both oopsied on that one. And then the aforementioned AJ Styles beating Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match to retain the WWE title.
That was a good match.
It was a good match, and good for me, too, because I got the pick right. You see how this is going now.
Yeah.
Now, with Alexa Bliss coming out and cashing in that that Money in the Bank contract not too long after getting it, she disrupted the Nia Jackson-Ronda Rousey match, so I just considered that
a null.
A null, exactly. I nullified that because that would have been like Brucey bonus points to be able to predict that. The person who's not even in the match is going to win it.
It's weird. I didn't even consider that an option, and I probably should have, and because I already had abstained from picking on that match.
Yeah, you didn't want to touch it at all.
And I should have known better. I never do, though. I really never do.
Yep, you should have known better with some girls like them.
Aha.
I say that got away. Okay, yeah, that was different enough. And finally, Braun Strowman winning the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and I actually got that one right. Hey, a nice 12.5% chance. Rolled the dice, and it came up right.
Good for you.
So yeah, as far as the picks, I went 7-2 for the pay-per-view. You went 3-6. So now we were tied heading in. So now it's a lead of 4. But there's still plenty of year left.
Yeah.
We're just about at the halfway point.
Yeah.
So there's ample time for with as many pay-per-views as there are left. That is nothing. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
But something that definitely isn't nothing at all. It's our good friends.
Stupid Sexy Flanders? Nothing
Wow,
at all.
you went.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Wow, you went there with the Simpsons reference. Very well done.
Thank you.
Jay Hunter at OSW would be proud.
I'm sure he would be.
But here's something that I'm proud to announce. Heads and spirits are up at the Broken Goblet Brewery at 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA, where tonight is bartender Reese's bar-wide heads-up game. As Lucas looks over with confusion and intrigue.
Intrigue, not confusion. I know what heads up is. It's the iPad game.
Oh, yeah. It's the game that I believe was created by Ellen DeGeneres and is available on various apps. I mean, you could use it with an iPad. You could use it with your phone if you wanted to. I know I have it as an app on my phone.
Use it on a goat. Use it in a boat.
No, it is not Chris. Yeah, that guy.
Redacted.
Chris Redacted, exactly. But this time, the heads-up game is Disney-themed.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I know my Disney, but I don't know my Disney. Like certain...
I say, look at Peter Pan all grown up over here.
No, it's not that. It's... I know who's going to be in the bar.
Oh,
It's going to be Disney fanatics. Yeah.
Oh, you know my brother's going to be there.
You see, but I get along with your brother.
Yeah.
But Disney fanatics... Yeah.
Regardless, forget about wishing upon a star. Come to the Goblet to play an interactive and fun game with the entire bar. Plus, there are...
That rhymed.
Yeah. Plus, there are prizes to be given away as well. For getting the most correct and whatnot.
Like what?
Prizes for...
Beer?
Yeah, I was going to say prizes for when you... for what that you'll be able to apply in March of next year. Not that you would, but you would be legally able to.
Fair enough. So I just buy them for you.
You just win them for me.
Whatever.
Although if you're buying, no.
Easy now.
Yeah, buying and DDing, it's great. And there's my wishing upon a star. Anyway, you can also enjoy some of the fantastic brews, including a special Samsaric Mango Habanero Pale Ale.
Olay?
That's okay. No.
That's later?
No, yeah, that's still later. El Twitcherico or
no, you got it.
Oh, I did get it? Okay. I couldn't remember.
Well, I mean, you got one of my friends' names, yes. I don't know if you're referring to me as that, but...
Oh, now I know you're full of it. You don't have friends. Okay, that got too dark. All right. Also, the Hefner Weiss beer.
Wow, I didn't realize you'd opie me that quickly.
Opie? Oh. I always thought I was more of an Anthony, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, in terms of the betrayal you just did, I'm walking on Greg shells over here.
Oh boy. Yeah. Also, the Blood Orange IPA, the Pineapple Sweet Stash, it's their pineapple wheat beer, the Fall of Risengard, the Black Rye Ale, and there surprisingly is still some of the, I guess they made a ton of it here for the last batch, some of the Jason Kelsey beer, No One Likes Us, We Don't Care. So if you were clamoring for it months ago, get on over there. Plus, coming up Saturday, July 14th, the Broken Goblet celebrating their 3rd anniversary with a giant send-off party to the town they have called home for 4 years. A thank you for another year of peace, hops, and music known as Goblet Stock. There'll be live music on the outdoor stage. There'll be food from Jay's Steak and Hoagie Joint, Moondog Sundays, Meat Wagon Barbecue. Party is free to attend, rain or shine, all beers being $5 each. There'll be at least 35 of the Broken Goblet varieties. Kids are welcome, and make sure to bring suitable attire for the water slide or potential monsoon. That's all starting Saturday, July 14th at 3 p.m. Just a few reasons why it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly.
Yes.
Coming back with more fun stuff, including a word from... not Twitch McMahon, but Vince McMahon on the other side. Although something tells me Twitch McMahon will probably get his shtick in as well.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you can set your watch by it. All right, this is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
Slipstream is back with your host, Michael Walker, talking about New Jersey's capital city, Trenton. Listen each and every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. right here on 1490 WBCB and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com. Brought to you by Case's Pork Roll, the original Jersey ham since 1870.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455. Next time you head down the shore, make Keenan's Irish Pub your favorite spot. Located in the heart of North Wildwood, Keenan's Irish Pub is 25,000 square feet of wall-to-wall fun. There's live entertainment 7 days a week and an extensive menu that even features sushi. So grab an ice-cold drink, listen to some live music, and catch the Baseball Insiders as they broadcast live on Sunday before Phillies baseball. Keenan's Irish Pub, 113 Old New Jersey Avenue in North Wildwood, where all the neighborhoods still meet.
Your health is your most precious asset. Tune in to St. Mary Healthline Wednesday at 9 a.m. for advice on how to better manage your health. You will hear about important medical issues from the doctors and professionals across all service lines from St. Mary Medical Center. You will have the opportunity to talk or email your questions to the experts who can help you live a healthier lifestyle. St. Mary Healthline, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. It's your health. Expect more.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, June 23. On this date in 1994, WCW aired its Clash of the Champions Supercard. In the main event, Ric Flair pinned Sting to unify the WCW International World Heavyweight Championship and the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1996, the WWF held its King of the Ring pay-per-view. In the main event, Shawn Michaels pinned the British Bulldog to retain the WWF Championship. Also in this pay-per-view, Steve Austin won the King of the Ring tournament, delivering his famous Austin 316 promo in the coronation interview. On this date in 2002, WWE held its King of the Ring pay-per-view. In the main event, The Undertaker pinned Triple H to retain the Undisputed Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, June 23. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon, Derry, and Lucas Twitch DeSangro here with you. Yeah, the Austin 316 promo is 22 years old today.
Jeez.
I feel ancient.
Right.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, you weren't even a twinkle in your parents' eye when that happened.
Wasn't even thought of.
And 22 years later, nothing's changed. No, that's...
beat me to it.
I've got to try to stay sharp here with the minimal sleep that I got. So, yeah, here's some good news from WWE. A historic event taking place, as it was announced earlier this week. And we'll go ahead and let Vinnie Mac tell you about it himself.
I'm proud to say that WWE will be making history in Australia, presenting Super Showdown on Saturday, October the 6th, the first ever live WWE broadcast from Melbourne at the iconic Melbourne Cricket Ground. Super Showdown will feature John Cena, Ronda Rousey, and practically every superstar from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, along with some of the greatest legends in sports entertainment, including Shawn Michaels, Big Show, and Kurt Angle. By the way, The Undertaker and Triple H will compete against each other for the very last time, ending an iconic era in WWE. Promoter Paul Daney and I invite the entire WWE Universe in Australia and around the world to witness the biggest WWE live event in Australian history, WWE Super Showdown, live from the MCG in Melbourne on Saturday, October the 6th.
There you have it. So the WWE Super Showdown. That's right, Melbourne Cricket Ground in Australia, Saturday, October 6, 2018. It'll be broadcast live on WWE Network and pay-per-view worldwide. So something tells me that if you want to watch that, you'll have to get up as early as I am usually on a Saturday.
How old? How long is that?
Probably around it'll be around the same time as the Beast from the East pay-per-view, if you remember that.
I don't. Well, I remember the pay-per-view, I just don't remember what time it was on live. I woke up and caught it.
Caught a little bit of it from when you woke up?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's a 14-hour time difference.
Oof.
I'm just quickly looking that up here because I can't remember myself. Okay, yeah, we are 14 hours behind their time. So, yeah, so if they had it at, let's say, 7 p.m. local time in Melbourne, it would be 5 a.m. here on the East Coast.
Fair enough. At least it's not a New Japan pay-per-view where it started at 3 in the morning.
I guess every little bit helps. But some interesting notes from the announcement as well as the press release. The advertisement of The Undertaker against Triple H for the first time since WrestleMania 28.
For the first time, for the last time. End of an era, even though we said that at WrestleMania 28.
Well, this is the Australian end of an era.
We're just starting in Australia with the live events. What do you...
Well, it's the end of that era. I got nothing.
I
I'm
didn't
trying.
vote for him! Makes about as much... See, really the only way I could end that one.
You went Monty Python. All right,
Yes.
very good. Also, the advertisement of Daniel Bryan on the show, considering that his contract is set to expire in September. Interesting. And among the listed talent, Shawn Michaels, who recently in an interview left the door open to returning to the ring.
Yeah, he said he'd like to go on one-on-one with someone like Gargano, maybe. That would be really good. Ooh.
Careful there, McDuck.
Realistically, diving into a pool of pennies would really hurt. It's just a giant pool of solids.
Indeed. And one other thing here, WWE announcing on Monday that 8 live events will be taped for NXT UK, a new UK series featuring the greatest competitors from the United Kingdom and Ireland.
Oh, it's about time.
Yeah, including the UK Championship title plus 2 new championships, the UK Women's Championship and the UK Tag Team Championships, will be on the line at the following NXT UK events, including the last weekend in July, the 28th and 29th, at the Corn Exchange in Cambridge. The last weekend in August, the 25th and 26th, as part of Insomnia, the UK's biggest gaming festival. And that's at NEC Birmingham. Saturday, October 13th and Sunday, October 14th at Plymouth Pavilions, and November 24th and 25th in Liverpool Olympia. So a little international flair. I guess, I don't know if they're going to be doing anything live for those as of yet. Probably not, but I'm sure they'll find some way of putting it up on the WWE Network. And actually, there are a couple of other things I can quick get into. So some not-so-great news for Ring of Honor. The COO, Joe Koff, saying that the company lost its date with Madison Square Garden in New York City. They got dumped, I guess. I don't know.
Well, McMahon still has right of first refusal.
Yeah, Koff implying to Mike Johnson at PWInsider.com that WWE played a role in Ring of Honor losing the date, saying, quote, "I'm not going to discuss beyond this statement because I am not going to litigate this in the press. We had a deal with Madison Square Garden, and then they told us they were backing out after communications from the WWE. We are not able to get any other dates in any kind of discussion. I'm expecting that our lawyers will be contacting all the parties involved, and the best we can hope is that we can find a resolution so we can bring the kind of energy and excitement that ROH and our partner New Japan to a bigger audience and to bigger arenas and to the fans of New York City." There was some speculation that they were trying to get Madison Square Garden for WrestleMania weekend.
Well, yeah, Supercard of Honor at Madison Square Garden. Oh, my gosh. It'd be amazing.
And there are a couple of other things here. ESPN announcing that WWE's Charlotte Flair will be among the 16 athletes featured in the body issue of ESPN the magazine. Now, the gimmick with that is that the issue showcases athlete bodies by featuring them posing nude but tastefully done so that the so-called naughty bits are covered in creative ways. A number of big-name athletes have posed for the issue over the last 10 years in all different sports, though Charlotte will be the first WWE wrestler to pose for the magazine. Others appearing in this issue will include Hall of Fame athletes like football player Jerry Rice and golfer Greg Norman, basketball player Karl Anthony Townsend, women's basketball player Brianna Stewart, pro baseball player Yasiel Puig, and Olympic bronze medal winning figure skater Adam Rippon, among others. Interesting.
Anything else we want to get into, Fearon?
Yeah, I guess we got this one other thing we can throw in. So, your boy Sami Zayn underwent surgery to repair a torn rotator cuff.
With only 4 minutes left to go. Thanks, Burgundy. I appreciate it.
Yep. You're welcome. To repair a torn rotator cuff this week in Birmingham, Alabama. Zayn telling the WWE website that he will also undergo surgery on his left rotator cuff in 6 to 7 weeks, noting that both the left and right one are torn. He said, quote, "I underwent surgery on the right one, then in about 6 or 7 weeks I'll be undergoing surgery on the left one, and hopefully I can come back healthy and happy," end quote. He also mentioned he hopes to be healthy in time for WrestleMania 35, so about 9 months from now, and noted that he has been working through the injuries and is unsure when those tears occurred. Got about a minute for your thoughts.
It's not even worth it at this point.
Not even worth it at this point? Were you going to go into a whole 20-minute soliloquy on it?
No. But you just
Requiem for a Twitch?
Yo, you had to do it out of spite, didn't you, Burgundy?
What can I say? I have my moments. But let's end things on a bright note. I think it's time for...
birthdays.
Oof. That's going to be a new drop. All right, 2 plus 4 Brucey bonuses. First, on this date in 1983, Brandy Alexis Reed was born. The former WWE and TNA wrestler and announcer, as well as reality television personality known both as Eden Stiles and Brandy Rhodes, wife of Cody Rhodes.
Wait, she wrestled? Oh, yeah, she did wrestle for TNA. That was one.
Turns 35 today. And another TNA feature, you'll appreciate this one. On this date in 2015, Maxwell Hardy was born.
Yeah.
The son of Woken Matt and Rebby Hardy, featured in TNA as King Maxwell, turns 3 today. Hail to the king.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Delightful.
And to the Brucey bonuses, things outside of the world of wrestling, we've got a 4-pack for you. On this date in 1941, Robert C. Hunter was born. The musician, lyricist, singer, and songwriter best known for his work writing songs for the band The Grateful Dead turns 77 today. That one's for you, Big Kahuna. On this date in 1946, Theodore Tillman Shackelford III was born. The actor best known for playing Gary Ewing on the Dallas spin-off Knots Landing from 1979 to 1993, as well as spending a decade on the soap opera The Young and the Restless, better known as Ted Shackelford, turns 72 today.
Are you sure it wasn't Ted Sheckler?
No. I'm certain.
You're going to just stop that one right away.
Yes, for time's sake.
That one was for you, John. From
on this date in 1948, Clarence Thomas was born, the current Supreme Court Justice, and has been since being voted in by Congress in 1991, turns 70 today. And on this date in 1956, Randall Darius Jackson was born, the bassist, singer, record producer, and TV personality best known for his appearances as a judge on the hit TV series American Idol, turns 62 today. That's going to just about do it here, and Twitch is glaring angrily at me, so...
I'm glaring angrily at the table, Fearon.
Okay, the way the angle was with the hat, I don't know.
Considering
Play us out,
I'm
Nutsy.
probably going to...
1 o'clock and all goes whale!
Celebrating 60 years of broadcasting excellence, we're 1490 WBCB.